What's good? It's Young Harlem. Making a quick video, basically wanted to share my coming out story. I mean, a lot of people have their own story, and that's definitely cool. If y'all feel the need or y'all want to share your story with me, you're more than welcome to. I'll definitely be interested in, watching or reading. If you choose to send me a comment, a message, or video reply, whichever one y'all want to do, I'll definitely be interested in that. First and foremost, I want to say that there was never a time, and still to this day, there's never a time where I feel like, or where I ever had that mind frame that when you tell someone something that they don't expect or that they don't know, that they're supposed to be, flat out accepting right then and there. Like, I honestly do wish it could be that way, but that's not how it's going to happen for the most part. It doesn't happen like that. So, I think that was one of my issues. Well, not my issues. One of the issues that was there with one particular person I came out to. I also want to recap on a video I was watching from somebody that I'm subscribed to. In the video, the person was basically talking about how, you can't really care too much about what people say. That's not to take it overboard, but basically what the person was saying as far as you being who you are, live your life to the fullest and be proud and comfortable with who you are. I mean, for everybody it takes time to accept yourself for who you are and be comfortable with who you are. That's understandable. I, didn't come to terms with accepting myself until I was 15 going on 16. I partially started accepting myself when I was 13 going on 14. I came out when I was 16. I'm now 21. So the whole coming out experience to me was kind of crazy. And watching this person's video, they also talked about how, why is it that people in the LGBT community, why is it that we have to come out the closet when, straight people don't have to say, hey, I'm straight. It's just known, or it's not something that's talked about. But in the LGBT community, the whole coming out thing is like some type of project. Like, you have to put on a performance to, be who you are. Like, I definitely agree with the person when they said, you shouldn't feel compelled or feel obligated to come out. If I would have watched that video when I was 16, I probably would have had a whole different view on the whole coming out thing. I might have not did it. I might have just let it play it out. Because there are some days, where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have, just not said anything. Dealing with one particular person. Also, I came out to my parents and my parents only because I felt they were the only people in my family at the time that I needed to know. But that's kind of not what happened. You tell one person something and they call everybody and their mother and tell them. So that was kind of my experience. I came out to my dad first. It was a situation where, I didn't have any negative vibe with coming out to my dad. Because me and my dad have that connection where we talk about damn near anything. And the way I came out to him, I was on the phone with the female I was dealing with at the time, and he asked me a question and I answered it. I can't remember exactly what the question was. Once again, I came out when I was 16. I am now 21. But I get off the phone with the female I was dealing with, and we started talking, me and my dad. So I'm like, well, that's my girlfriend, right? And he's like, oh, so you're gay? And I'm like, yeah. So it was like a silence or a pause for like a second or two. Then he goes, okay, that's cool. I was like, so I gave him this look like, that's it. And he's like, as long as you're happy and you're safe, that's all that matters to me. And as long as you're doing what you need to do in life, that's all that matters. So, that was like a big burden that was, taken off my shoulders. But then a week or so after, I was debating with myself whether I was going to come out to my mom. For those who don't know me, I'm not too close to my mom. Like, we don't really talk about much. So the whole coming out experience with her was hectic. I laugh at it now because to me it's funny, and a few of my friends think it's funny. So I came out to my mom on a Sunday, right before we went to church. I did that because, it was a Sunday, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get in too much trouble for this. That's why I laugh at it now. But, yeah, I came out to her on a Sunday. The way that happened was I was sitting downstairs watching TV, and she was eating breakfast. And I said to her, I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. And she's like, what is it? Mind you, I'm paranoid as shit because, like I said, I don't talk to my mom about much. So I'm sitting there paranoid as shit and nervous as hell. So I'm like, never mind. And with my mom, you can't do that. Once you say something, once you bring something up, you have to say it. So then I was like, what would you do, if I told you I was attracted to females? And she was like, oh, I wouldn't do anything, because a lot of people nowadays feel a certain way, whatever. So I'm sitting there, to me, I'm like, is this lady really saying this? Like, at that point in time, I was like, okay, this is turning out way different than what I thought it would be. I thought wrong. So after that happened, we went to church. So on our way back home from church, we're sitting in the car, and at this point in time, so much was running through my head. So I'm looking out the window. So she asked me a question, and mind you, like I said, I just came out to her, and the connection is not really there. So the question she asked me was, well, do you feel like you'll be married to a female? And I knew the answer was yes, because I felt that way then, and I feel that way still to this day. But like I said, I'm not that close to my mom, so I was like, I don't know. And she goes, well, then you're not gay. And I just give her this look, like, how are you going to tell me what I am, But that's how that happened. Like, stuff with that, like, me coming out to my mom was so bad. Like, I went through so much stuff with that. Like, I really tried to commit suicide. And I look back at it now, like, yo, it was really crazy. But truth be told, like, I can give my mom some type of props because she has come a long way, from the way it used to be. When I first came out, it was, oh, you're not gonna be gay, I'm not having this. Now I feel like she has come to terms with, maybe this is really who she is. It's just I'm dealing with other stuff, dealing with the whole gay issue, I'm dealing with other stuff. But other than that, like I said, I could give my mom a little bit of props because she has come a long way with that. But like I said, definitely get at me and let me know what y'all think about my story. You could share your story with me. I would be more than glad to watch it, your video if you do a video reply, or read your story if you decide to leave me a message or a comment. But with that being said, I want to tell y'all out there who, young people who, are debating on whether they want to come out or not. Like, if you want to do it, cool. If you're ready to do it, then that's on you. But coming out is not, honestly, to me, it's not necessary. I feel like you go through way too much. Like, nowadays, I have my days where it's like I said, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't have came out. But then, again, it's like, whatever. Also, the reason why I came out to my mom was because randomly one day, she came to me and was like, you could talk to me about anything, right? And I'm like, okay. And she's like, for example, if you were gay, you could tell me. I'd probably be mad, but I'd rather hear it from you than to hear it from somebody else. So, like, that gave me a hint that she knew, but I don't know. Like, she went on acting like she didn't know anything. But, like I said, the coming out experience is different for everybody. For me, coming out to my mom was crazy as hell. But, I survived that. So I feel like I could survive anything else. Basically, be true to who you are. Live your life to the fullest. And, don't let anybody put you down. Be proud of who you are. And be the best person you can be. Don't let nobody hold you back. Live your life the best way you know how to. As long as you're not harming anybody, then it shouldn't matter, your sexual orientation or anything of that nature. But definitely get at me with some feedback. Alright, thanks for watching. It's Young Harlem.